Hi everyone, welcome to The Solutionist. It's an initiative by Unacademy and we are here to help you ace your next exam. I am Anupama Anjali. I have secured 386 rank in CSE 2017 and I'm an IS officer posted in Andhra Pradesh. I will be solving the 2016 paper of Civil Service Examination, paper 1 of General Studies. The reason why I chose this paper is because this was the first prelims paper that I had given. It was my first attempt and I was able to clear it, and I feel that if I share with you the thought process which went on in my mind while solving the paper, as a fresher, it's going to help a lot of people out there. So that's the reason I've chosen the 2016 paper. Hopefully, all the things that we discussed today are going to help you clear your 2020 prelims paper as well. So let us begin. I'll just like to give certain general instructions about prelims before we begin. I will advise that all of you solve at least 70 to 80 tests papers before going for prelims, like at least 5,000 questions. As much as you can, there's no upper limit, but make sure that you do that. Because once you do that, you are going to get very comfortable looking at multiple choice questions, and you'll get the optimum amount of questions that you should be answering. That particular number of questions that you should be answering all by yourself, वो quantity आपको in a given paper वो समझ में आ जाएगी. I personally attempted usually around above 80 in any case, and 80 to 90 questions. If I could go beyond that, that's great. In the toughest of papers, I made sure I at least attempted 80. So, ये number जो है, number of questions that you're attempting, I think it's different for different people. So, to find your own comfortable range of questions, the number of questions that you're supposed to attempt, I think that's very important. And when you're going to solve question papers and analyze your answers, you're going to come and find out a lot of things. कि आप कहाँ पे लैग कर रहे हो, कहाँ पे आप improve कर सकते हो, area of improvement. Make it a part of your preparation. Don't think that I'll give all the questions, I'll solve all the papers at the end. What you have to do is, right from the moment you begin your preparation, you have to solve papers on a regular basis. ताकि at the end, you can just get very, very used to the process. Another advice that I want to give you is सिर्फ questions को solve करना important नहीं है, उनकी analysis बहुत ज़्यादा important है. जो आपने analysis की है हर एक paper में, write down all the things that you have actually learned from that at a particular place, so that last में आप revise कर सको all the questions that you actually found difficult. That is very important. Prelims के पहले you need to have one place to go to where you can revise all of the questions that you have solved till now. So every new thing that you learn, make sure you write it down at a particular place. Syllabus wise, you have to focus on all the areas. Current affairs is very important. Current affairs, maybe you need to have a place where you have written everything important for which you think can be asked in prelims. Focus on the main issues that are revolving around the news that you see. अगर उसमें आपको कुछ भी ऐसा लगे that there's some factual thing that could be asked, you have to do it. You have to make sure that you prepare the schemes very nicely. You have to make sure that you're preparing all the map questions really nicely, because these are questions which are very easy to attempt, as we are going to see now. ऐसे काफ़ी questions आएंगे इस paper में जो आपको अगर आते हों, you'll just use perhaps just 1 or 2 seconds and tick the right option and go ahead. So I think the right thing to do would be to go question by question, and I'll try to explain what went out, what played on in my mind while I was solving these questions. Yeah, so let's begin with the paper. As we scroll down, another important information that I like to share with you all is how do we actually go about attempting the paper. Now, there are a lot of people who first like to, just solve the entire paper and then mark the OMR sheet at the end. There are few who like to go question by question and then mark it, likewise. What I did on a personal level was मैं एक page पे जितने questions दिए हैं वो एक बार में solve करती थी, and then I used to mark them and then I used to go to the next page. The reason why I did this is because single questions जब मैंने mark किए अपने test series में, I actually made a mistake marking the questions. And when I did the whole thing, solved the whole paper and marked it in the towards the end, time mismanagement होने का थोड़ा डर रहता है. So I always felt that dealing 5 questions at a time and marking it even gives a little rest to your brain when you proceed to the next 5. But ये बहुत personal opinion है. I'm not saying it's actually the best. That's something that worked for me. So try and find out what actually works for you while solving a paper. I think the best way to proceed would be to go from one question to the next, and I like to tell you कि मेरा thought process क्या है when I'm dealing with this question. So question number 1 is which of the following statement is correct? A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its prorogation. A bill pending in the Rajya Sabha which has not been passed by the Lok Sabha shall not lapse on dissolution of the Lok Sabha. And then you have to select the correct answer. See, what you have to keep in mind is you read this question very carefully. It's a very basic question from Lakshmikant, and as in from polity, and no matter whatever source that you have actually used to study this for your polity portion, you're going to find this question there, right? So what you have to do is read the question very, very carefully. Now the important word is prorogation and dissolution. If you don't look at them, a lot of people just quickly mark the answer and go ahead. So as we know that the first statement is incorrect and the second one is correct, so I would have marked B option for it. Just be very careful in such questions to just read the question twice or thrice. That would be my advice. The next question is, which of the following is our indicators used by IFPRI to compute the Global Hunger Index report? Undernourishment, child stunting and child mortality. Select the correct answers given below. Okay, so I knew all about Global Hunger Index report, but I didn't know all the parameters that or all the indicators which they were using, and I don't think किसी को भी वो याद रहता होगा. But if you look at the options, all 3 of them are actually very, very generic and very much related to global hunger, right? So you can safely assume that ये तीनों की तीनों सही हैं. For example, undernourishment तो definitely global hunger में आप शायद लाओगे, child stunting भी आप लाओगे ही, and child mortality भी आप लाओगे. You will definitely like to have it as an indicator. So keeping this in mind, I went for option C, and I still don't remember if it's right or wrong, but this is the option that I went for, and I think उस time मैंने सही किया था, right? So this is how I attempt such questions. There are certain questions जिनको आप guesswork पे ही बहुत अच्छे से solve कर सकते हो. Just look at the options and figure out कि क्या वो generic है या क्या वो उस question में जो main topic दिया है उससे related है, and then go for it, right? The next question is, there has been a persistent deficit budget year after year. Which action/actions of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? Right. So first is reducing revenue expenditure. Second is introducing new welfare schemes. Third is rationalizing subsidy. And fourth is reducing import duty. And you have options that have been given to you. See, this is basically a very basic question from NCERT itself. There is nothing much to it. कोई भी serious aspirant जिसने economics अच्छे से पढ़ी हो उससे ये बन जाना चाहिए. What you have to do is again to read the options very carefully. तो जब आप देखेंगे that your aim is to reduce budget deficit, right? So you are going to reduce your expenditures and try to increase your revenue. So reducing revenue expenditure, I think it's going to be right because it's according to what we have thought about the question. Introducing new welfare schemes, that's something I don't think you'll do. And rationalizing subsidies, yes. And reducing import duty, if you reduce import duty, the revenues of the government are going to reduce, so you won't do that. So I think the correct answer is 1 and 3, which is option number C. So just be very careful that you're reading every statement carefully and such. You already know the answer, okay? Just take your time and handle it well. The fourth question is, the establishment of payment banks is being allowed in India to promote financial inclusion. Which of the following statement is or are correct in this context? Okay, so payment banks were really in news back then. So that's the reason I feel they have asked this question. उस टाइम ऑलमोस्ट आई स्टिल रिमेंबर ऑलमोस्ट हर मंथ बोलियो हर वीक में एक या दो आर्टिकल्स होते थे पेमेंट बैंक पे टुवर्ड्स द एंड. सो दैट्स द रीजन दे हैव आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन. Right. So the first option is mobile telephone companies and supermarket chains that are owned and controlled by residents are eligible to be promoters of payment bank. Payment banks can issue both credit card and debit card. Payment banks cannot undertake lending activities. Okay, so isme there's one option that I'm absolutely sure about is that second is wrong because as far as I know, they cannot issue credit cards. And on basis of that, if you eliminate the options, you'll land up to one. So according to me, this is the right answer. I did attempt this question in the paper. With reference to Li-Fi recently in news, which of the following statement is or are correct? It uses light as a medium for high-speed data transmission. It is a wireless technology and is several times faster than Wi-Fi. This is again based on current affairs. This was covered by almost all coaching materials, a very basic question, something that you would definitely get if you have solved enough amount of test series papers. So this again I think iska answer hai both 1 and 2, and this is again a very basic question. So every serious aspirant is going to attempt this correctly in the paper. So you have to get such easy questions right. Okay, moving on to the sixth question. The term intended nationally determined contribution is sometimes seen in news in context of. Okay, now this is again a very, very basic question which you have to know being a serious UPSC aspirant. I don't even think I need to read this because if you see, even if you don't know it, you will, when you read the options, you can easily eliminate. Pledges made by European countries to rehabilitate refugees. I don't think that is even close to what the thing is. Plan of action outlined by countries of the world to combat climate change. Capital contribution. I don't know. I don't think I need to read this because I think everybody knows the answer. So let's move on to the next one. Which one of the following is a purpose of Uday, a scheme of government? Again, very much in news back then. Schemes you have to do. What I'll advise you when it comes to schemes is that you make a separate register of all the important schemes, especially the flagship schemes. Write down वो scheme कौन सी ministry की है, उसके important parameters क्या हैं. जो भी आप questions आगे भी देखेंगे schemes में, this is one thing that you're going to notice is that only an overview of the scheme, knowing an overview of the scheme is enough, and you can easily eliminate options on basis of the overview. So don't go too much in depth. Don't just try and memorize every single detail. 1000 crore है, 100 crore है. Don't go to that. Just know an overview कि वो scheme किसके लिए है, what are the main provisions, कौन सी ministry ने निकाली थी, कौन से साल में निकाली थी, and हो सके तो what is the achievement, that if there's any significant achievement in the newspaper that you see, उसको आप उसी scheme के अंदर लिख लो. So that's all you need to do in scheme, but try to cover as many schemes as possible. So coverage is more important here than the depth. Okay, so answer here is okay, we'll read the options. Providing technical and financial assistance to startup entrepreneurs in the field of renewable source of energy, providing electricity to every household in the country, replacing the coal based power plants. Again, fourth option is providing for financial turnaround and revival of power distribution company. So this is the right answer. With reference to IFC masala bonds, sometimes seen in news, which of the statement given below are correct? See, sometimes seen in news. This is news. This is coming again and again. So basically, it's a straightforward current affair question, which you could easily solve by reading current affairs on a regular basis. And I think both the statements given here are correct. The International Financial Corporation, which offers these bonds, is an arm of the World Bank. Okay, and there are rupee denominated bonds and a source for debt financing for public and private sector. Right. Okay. So I think the answer is C, both 1 and 2. Regarding the next question, regarding the taxation system of Krishna Deva, a ruler of Vijayanagar, consider the following statement. The tax rate on lands was fixed depending on the quality of land. Private owners of workshop paid an industrial tax. Which of the following statements are correct? Now, I didn't really know anything I mean, I didn't know much about the taxation system of Devarai of Vijayanagar empire. But looking at the statement, I made a qualified guess. Now, this is something that you should also try to do while attempting papers. The first option says that the tax rate on land was fixed depending on the quality of the land. Now, see, this is something that I think happens almost everywhere. Like, you will want to take more tax from people who have, fertile lands, and you will like to take less tax from people who have dry lands. So this is something I think Krishnadevarai would have also thought about. So I assumed it to be correct. Private owners of workshop paid an industrial tax. Now, I did know back then that there were professional taxes in this period which were taken by rulers. Now, this is the only information that I knew. I was not sure if he actually, took an industrial tax from private owners of workshop. But given this information that yes, professional taxes to us zamane mein liye jate the, I assumed it to be correct and I marked it as both 1 and 2, because knowing that the first statement is correct, I had two options to choose from, only one and both 1 and 2, right? So what I did, whenever you can actually, in any question, 4 options में से अगर आप 2 के बीच में unsure हो, तो वो question को आप mark करने की कोशिश करो, because you have a 50% chance that you're going to mark the right thing, and that's a very, very big substantial number. So I went for both 1 and 2. Okay. The next question, which one of the following books of ancient India has the love story of son of the founder of Sunga dynasty? Very basic question right from the NCERT. So this should not take you more than a second to answer, right? Always try to attempt such questions and answer them, because this say all of your competitors will anyhow be answering it. So be very sure and mark it confidently and move ahead. In the context of which of the following do you sometimes find the term amber box, blue box and green box? Again, a very, very direct question. Okay, ये पूरा ये amber box, blue box, green box का concept उस time बहुत discuss भी हो रहा था. It was coming in news. WTO is the answer. Very basic economic stuff which you should know if you're a serious aspirant, right? And these are all just 2 second में mark करके आगे बढ़ने वाले questions. Which of the following are included in the capital budget of the government of India? Okay, expenditures on acquisition of assets like road, building, machinery, loans received from foreign governments, loans and advances granted to the state and union territories. Right, so this is again a basic economics concept which you can very easily attempt. If you have studied this concept well, ये NCERT में दिया हुआ है, it is very, very basic, so I don't think there's a point discussing this right now. What is the importance of United Nations Convention to combat desertification? It aims to promote effective action through innovative national program and supportive international partnership. Second, it has a special focus on South Asia and North Africa regions, and its secretariat facilitates the allocation of major portions of financial resources to these regions. It is committed to bottom-up approach, encouraging the participation of local people in combating desertification. Right. Again, basic, but हो सकता है कि शायद आपने इस पे इतना ध्यान ना दिया हो. You know, towards the end, when we have so much to study, हम काफ़ी चीज़ों पे इतना ध्यान नहीं देते. So you might not be sure about all the options. But अगर आप इसके options देखोगे, on the basis of having a technique to attempt the paper also, you can easily solve this question. जैसे आप first statement पढ़िए. It aims to promote effective action through innovative national programs and supportive international relationship. ये इतनी generic statement है that this is very, very likely to be right. So please assume it to be right. Okay. Second is it has a special focus on South Asia and North African region, and its secretariat facilitates the allocation of major portions of financial resources to these region. Right. Ab United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Although this statement looks right, what I actually felt was that desertification is not just a problem of these regions. Desertification is something that even all the countries of the world are actually facing, and so I don't see why there should be a special focus in these regions. So I doubted कि ये शायद ही सही हो, right? It is committed to bottoms-up approach, encouraging the participation of local people. ये तो होगा ही सही because you do want local people to be a part of your initiative. So दो options जो हमारे बनते हैं 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 3. Now second, since I felt इसमें doubt हो सकता है, I would go for 1 and 3. So this is how I attempted the question. Recently, which one of the following currencies has been proposed to be added to the basket of IMF SDR? Now, this is again a direct question. ये आपको पता होना चाहिए था because it was in current affairs then, and the option is D. With reference to the International Monetary and Financial Committee, consider the following statement. The IMFC discusses matters of concern affecting global economy and advises the International Monetary Fund on the direction of its work. The World Bank participates as observer in IMFC's meetings. Right. I actually do not. I was not sure about this question back then, while I was attempting it. So, to be honest, I remember marking both 1 and 2 to it because both of the statements are very, very generic. And I feel that I took a risk here and I marked both 1 and 2. Moving ahead. Okay, so the next question, Rashtriya Garima Abhiyan is a national campaign too. This is again a direct question and iska answer tha eradicating the practices of manual scavenging. So again something that you are supposed to know if you're giving the prelims. The next question is, with reference to the cultural history of medieval India, consider the following statement. Siddhas of Tamil region were monotheistic and condemned idolatry. Lingayats of Kannada region questioned the theory of rebirth and rejected the caste hierarchy. Again, a straight question from medieval India, something you will find in the NCERT, something you will find in your the books that you've been studying for this portion, and a very, very basic question which you should know. Next question, which one of the following best describes the term import cover, sometimes seen in news? Right, it is the ratio of value of imports to the gross domestic product of the country. It is the total value of imports of a country in a year. It is the ratio between value of exports and that of imports between the two countries. It is the number of months of imports that could be paid for a country's international reserve. Now the term is import cover. Right, so from the term cover itself, you kind of get an idea. For example, insurance cover, it is securing you for a particular period of time. So that's when I felt that you're going to use the word cover. So according to that, the option D, it is the number of months of imports that the country could be paid for by a country's international reserve. I think this was the right option, and this is the way I actually got to know about it. It's actually basic. Most of you will already know it, but in case you don't know it, you can still attempt the question. Now, the communities which are seen in the news and the affairs related to which country. So, this is again a direct, current affairs based question. Rohingya, Myanmar is something every one of us knows, right? Madhisis, Nepal, yes, क्योंकि उस time it was really in the news, the demands of the Madhisis and way India was taking a stand for them. So this is again a straightforward question. Kurds is nowhere related to Bangladesh. They are a community in the Middle East. They want Kurdistan. So this is again very basic. The answer is 2 and 3. Question number, that is option C. Question number 20. With reference to Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, consider the following statement. It is an organization of European Union working in relation with NATO and WHO. Okay. It monitors chemical industries to prevent new weapons from emerging. It provides assistance and protection to states against chemical weapon threat. Which of the following statement are correct? अब आप अगर ध्यान से देखेंगे, the word chemical weapons, ये आपके स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 में है, स्टेटमेंट नंबर 3 में है, दोनों बड़ी ही रेलिवेंट है इस आई थिंक इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड, सो आई अज्यूम बोथ ऑफ देम टू बी ट्रू. The third thing that you're going to, the second thing that you're going to notice here is that it is an organization of European Union in working relation with NATO and WHO. राइट. सो अगर आप ऑप्शंस देखिए, ऑप्शन 2 और 3 से 2 ऑप्शंस रह जाते हैं, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. मेरे को लगा WHO से, मतलब this was just a guess. I didn't know if this statement is true. The thought process that went behind was that क्या WHO will be somewhere linking itself to something that has to do with chemical weapons. So on that basis I marked 2 and 3 and I took this chance because I could eliminate 2 options. So that was my response to this question. So is basis say that's how you think, and I'm not like really saying that this is the right answer right now. I'm just saying that this is how I thought while attempting this question. With reference to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, consider the following statement. Again, a direct question from a scheme जो आप बहुत आसानी से आंसर कर सकते हो. Second statement, that this scheme covers post-harvest losses arising out of cyclones and unseasonal rains. It's a very generic and true statement. This will be there if you're making a scheme for crop insurance. First statement में कि farmers will have to pay a uniform premium of 2% for any crop. This was not true for the scheme because Rabi, Kharif, sub crops के लिए the premium was different. So you don't really need to know the exact premium that you have to pay for each crop, but ये कि premium different थे. So on basis of that knowledge, you can easily answer this question. So first statement is wrong and second is correct. Question number 22. In which of the following regions of India are you most likely to come across the Great Indian Hornbill and it's in its natural habitat? Again, a straightforward question. ये आपको पता होना चाहिए based on your knowledge of environment that we're required to study. It's a very, very important thing to know about Great Indian Hornbill. So yeah, again a question that you can easily attempt. Okay, now moving to the next question. Which one of the following are the key features of National Ganga River Basin Authority? River Basin is a unit of planning and management. It spearheads the river conservation efforts at national level. Okay, so ये दोनों I think are generic options which you can assume to be true. Now if you're coming to a River Basin Authority, I felt that River Basin should be a planning of unit and management, so I assumed it to be true. Second is, I guess, true itself. ये तो मतलब self-evident है. Third, one of the chief ministers of the states through which the Ganga flows becomes the chairman of this. Okay, this is certainly specific. So if you don't know it, आप दो options eliminate कर सकते हो. Your first will be, which could be correct, is option A and option D. But ये statement से आपको मतलब पता करना ही पड़ेगा to eliminate the option. I assumed it to be correct and I think मैंने question गलत किया था उस time. So the answer is 1 and 2. Although अगर आपने इसके बारे में पढ़ा हो तो आप बहुत आसानी से इसको कर सकते हो head. I think it's headed by the Prime Minister. उस time I chose the wrong option. So basically first 2 options तो आपको पता ही हैं कि वो correct हैं. Third, if you know that it's headed by the Prime Minister, then you'll know it, right? Why does the government of India promote the use of neem coated urea in agriculture? Right. So इसके options पढ़ते हैं. All of us know why neem coated urea is actually used, but options देख के देखते हैं if we can eliminate options or not. Release of neem oil in the soil increases nitrogen fixation by soil microorganisms. See, I felt कि बहुत ही few plants actually do nitrogen fixation. So I somehow felt कि ठीक है, like this may not be true. Neem coating slows down the rate of dissolution of urea in the soil. Yes, this I felt, मतलब देखते से ही मुझे लगा ये सही है. Nitrous oxide, which is a greenhouse gas, is not at all released. Now this not at all is important. See, this is a very extreme statement. So this you can assume कि यार because it's so specific and extreme, this could be wrong, right? It is a combination of weedicide and a fertilizer for particular crops. Now again I felt कि ठीक है, मतलब option B is the most suitable, so I went with option B. But yeah, you can easily eliminate option C and option A from this question, right? Okay, so question number 25. Consider the following statements. The chief secretary in a state is appointed by the governor of that state. Statement number 2. The chief secretary in a state has a fixed tenure. Which of the following statement given above are correct? Now this is something you're supposed to know as a UPSC aspirant. Chief secretary is one of the most coveted posts which all the IAS officers actually want to be. So this is something you should know, and it's a very basic question. Chief Secretary is appointed by the governor of the state. Now this statement is clearly wrong because we do know that this can't be correct. And Chief Secretary in a state has a fixed tenure. Now where have you seen I don't think this is right, because chief secretaries usually don't. We don't really see them having fixed tenures anywhere. We don't ever hear in the news that the chief secretary has been appointed for 3 years or this or that. So I think the answer here is D. With the reference to Stand Up India scheme, which of the following statement is correct? Stand Up India scheme, again a flagship scheme of the government back then, इसलिए ये question पूछा है. Very very straightforward. दोनों ही statement correct हैं, क्योंकि दोनों ही statement आप देखते से पहचान जाओगे कि ये correct हैं. They are written right in the overview of the scheme. Moving ahead, the FAO accords the status of globally important agricultural heritage system to traditional agricultural system. So the key word here is traditional agricultural system. What is the overall goal of this initiative? Now, I had not read about this anywhere. I had no idea what they were talking about, but still I managed to get it correct in my exam. So, what I actually focused on was traditional agricultural system. अब इसको लेकर के जब हम आगे के statements पढ़ेंगे, then we'll get some idea. Right, so traditional agricultural system को promote करने के लिए what all would would you like to do? So think about it on that perspective. To provide modern technology and training in modern farming methods, right? Now this I felt was a little, it didn't match with the whole concept of traditional agricultural system. So reading the statement itself, I felt कि यार ये थोड़ा अजीब लग रहा है, because if you want to work for traditional agricultural system, then modern technology is something very opposite to that. So this I assumed it to be wrong. Okay, to identify and safeguard eco-friendly traditional farm practices and their associated landscape, agricultural biodiversity and knowledge system of the local communities. Now this I think is very generic, and it talks about eco-friendly traditional farm practices. So I assume it to be correct. To provide third option is to provide geographical indication status. I don't know why and how can this be linked to the topic at hand. The topic at hand is traditional agricultural system, and as we all know, geographical indication status is something which is a completely different topic on its own. So yeah, it's a completely different topic on its own, so I will assume this to be not related. So since I had to make a guess, I'll go with B. So this is how I attempted, and I think it's right. So this is one question which I had zero knowledge about, but I still managed to get it right. So just try and use your common sense and get it done. Which of the following are tributaries of Brahmaputra? Again, a very very factual question. I think all three of them are. In terms of core banking solutions this time the news mein, so that is why they've asked this. Okay, and we all know about it, so let's just go through the question. In terms of core banking solution, sometimes seen in news, which of the following statement best describes the term? It is a networking of banks branches which enables customers to operate their account from any branch of the bank or its network regardless of where they open their accounts. Okay, it is an effort to increase RBI's control over commercial banks through computerization. It is a detailed procedure by which a bank with huge non-performing asset is taken over by another bank. Option 3 is definitely wrong, right? So उसी से आपके eliminate हो रहे हैं, and this is the answer, right? So this is how I marked this question. Consider the following pair. Right, the terms that you sometimes see in news and their origin. Right, so first term is Annex 1 countries. Now we all know it has to be with Kyoto Protocol, so this is clearly wrong. Certified emission reduction is again Kyoto Protocol, and clean development mechanism is again Kyoto Protocol. So this way I could do this question. ये तीनों जो हैं protocols, Cartagena, Nagoya and Kyoto, all of them are very important, a part of basic environmental studies. So please go through them and you'll be able to solve this question in seconds. In the context of the development in bioinformatics, the term transcriptome, sometimes seen in news, refers to. Now see, I am a student of anthropology, so I studied the whole DNA and everything in a lot of detail, right? So I knew this very well. So this is one case where your subject actually helps you solve a question, and this is very, very easy for people who know it. So in this question, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. So please don't make a guesswork here. Like, avoid doing that. If you don't know it, faltu mein guess mat karo. Don't lose your score. So I knew it and I marked the correct answer. Mission Indradhanush launched by the government of India pertains to, okay, again a very basic straightforward question. Any serious aspirant should be able to answer this in seconds. Immunization of children and pregnant women. See, ये question में I don't think there's much to think, okay, and these questions you should get anyhow. Right, moving on to the next. Question number 33. Which of the following best describe the aim of Green India mission of the Government of India? First, incorporating environmental benefits and cost into the union and state budget, thereby implementing the green accounting. Second, launching the second green revolution to enhance agricultural output. And third, restoring and enhancing forest cover and responding to climate change by a combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. So you need to know about the Green India mission in order to attempt this question, and as far as I remember, I think the option 3 is the correct option. Moving on to the next question. With reference to pre-packed items in India, it is mandatory to the manufacturer to put which of the following informations on the main label as per the Food Safety and Standard Labeling Act. Right. Now this is based on your observation. I don't think ये कहीं current affairs से लिया है या कहीं और से लिया है. It's basically based on your observation. Now any pre-packed item that you see, अगर आपने उसको ध्यान से देखा हो तो आप ये question बहुत आसानी से आंसर कर सकते हो. The first option is list of ingredients included, including additives. List of ingredients including additives. Now this is something that you will see on behind pre-packed items. So this is true. Nutritional information, वो तो definitely true है, because you find nutritional information on everything, every pre-packed item. Third is recommendation, if any, made by medical professional about the possibility of an allergic reaction. Have you ever seen this anywhere? I don't think I have. Back then, while I was attempting the paper, I never recollected seeing this anywhere. So this I actually, doubted. Fourth is vegetarian, non-vegetarian. Yes, you have this green circle and this red circle that's, usually there to indicate it. So this I assume to be true. So on basis of this option, as I knew all 4 were not correct, and in most of the options, 3 or 2 were correct, I went with C. Right. Then question 35, Project Loon, again really in news. It was basically a wireless communication technology जो Google ने बनाई थी, and जो balloon stratosphere में launch करती थी. So fairly direct question. Net metering, again a very, very important concept that was getting discussed there in news, right? So you need to know, अगर आपको ऐसा कुछ भी नया सा दिखे, in newspapers where people are discussing something, if it's a new technology, if it's a new method of method or operation that has been coming in discussion, you have to pay attention to it, try to understand what it actually means. So net metering में as we all know, इसका option होगा production and use of solar energy. Option number A is sometimes in news seen. Net metering is sometimes seen in the news in the context of promoting the production and use of solar energy by household, use of piped natural gas in the kitchen of household, installation of CNG kits in motor cars, installation of water meters. So we all knew that it had to, do with solar energy, and जो net use होगा of solar energy, उसी पे ही आपको पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. So if you're actually making more solar energy than you consume, you can give it to the grid in time जब intermittent होती है solar energy production. So in time when your production is low you can actually take energy from the grid, और जो आप net usage करोगे उस पे आपकी billing होगी. So this is net metering. India's ranking in the ease of doing business index is sometimes seen in the news. Which of the following has declared that ranking? Now this is the World Bank. So in World Bank, this is again pretty basic and straightforward. There is nothing much to discuss in it. Banjaras during the medieval period of Indian history were generally, now again I have studied anthropology, so I knew it very well that they were traders. So this is again where my subject helped me answer the question. Again, if you know Banjaras, I think Banjaras are something which all of us have a mental picture about. So we know on that basis of that picture कि वो agriculturist और warriors तो नहीं होंगे. वीवर्स और ट्रेडर्स में भी अगर आपको कुछ चूज़ करना है तो शायद आप ट्रेडर्स ही चूज़ करोगे, क्योंकि बंजारास कीप ऑन मूविंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू द अदर, दे आर नोमैडिक. सो ऑन दैट बेसिस ऑल्सो यू कुड हैव सॉल्व्ड इट, बट मेरे को उसका आंसर डायरेक्टली पता था. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग हैज़ फर्स्ट डिसाइफर्ड द एडिक्ट्स ऑफ एम्परर अशोका? दिस यू आर सपोज्ड टू नो directly from ancient India, so there's nothing much to discuss. The answer there is B. Right. Moving on, with reference to the Gram Nyayalaya Act, which of the following statement is correct? As per the Act, Gram Nyayalayas can hear only civil cases and not criminal cases. The Act allows local social activists as mediators and reconciliators. Now, try to see this very clearly कि हम किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, right? And try to read the statement. अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे, so the first statement is that they can hear only civil cases. Now this is actually extreme, okay? Only civil cases, right? So this you can assume to be wrong, and अगर आपको पता हो basic knowledge, then you will also know that this is actually a wrong statement, because they do take in criminal cases also. So on this basis you can eliminate this option. The Act allows local social activists as mediators and reconciliators. This is right, because and this you can also assume to be right. So I think the option here is 2. So just focus on these keywords only, and इससे आपको बहुत help मिलेगा. Moving on, with reference to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, consider the following statement. It is an agreement among all the Pacific Rim countries except China and Russia. It is a strategic alliance for the purpose of maritime security only. Okay, so why do you think will so many countries come together and only talk about maritime security? If they actually come together, I think they will like to talk about more issues. आप कोई भी ऐसे partnerships देखोगे उसमें multiple agendas होते हैं. So this you can easily assume to be wrong. The word only here is the clue. It is an agreement among all the Pacific Rim countries except China and Russia. Alright. So, I think there were 12 countries here, and agar aap number of Pacific Rim countries count karo, they'll easily be 55 plus, or I don't know, 50 to 55 plus, right? So, on that basis, you could eliminate both the options, to be honest. Right, so all and only are the keywords. So कुछ भी extreme हो statement उसको 2 बार verify करो and you'll yourself find the answer. So the answer according to me is D. Moving on, consider the following statement. The India-Africa Summit held in 2015 was the third such summit, and second option was actually initiated by Jawaharlal Nehru in 1951. Now if you know about India-Africa Summit, you can easily answer this question, but please see कि ये दोनों जो statements है वो एक दूसरे से actually थोड़े opposite हैं. अगर it was the third summit which was held in 2015, it is highly unlikely that it will get initiated in 1951. So one option is correct and another option is false, right? So if you were following the news, you'll know that this option is actually correct. So by that way, अगर आपके पास में 2 फाइनली ऑप्शंस आ रहे हैं, उसमें से यू विल टिक ऑप्शन ए, क्योंकि ये दोनों स्टेटमेंट साथ में करेक्ट हो, ये उसके चांसेस बहुत कम है. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी द आंसर ऑफ क्वेश्चन 42 इज ए. क्वेश्चन 43, what are the purpose of the marginal cost of funds based lending rate announced by RBI? राइट नाउ दिस वाज वेरी मच इन न्यूज़ क्योंकि जो रेपो रेट चेंजेस RBI कर रहा था उस टाइम वो मॉनेटरी ट्रांसमिशन हो नहीं रहा था. सो दैट वाज द मेन इशू देयर. सो दिस एनीबडी हु इज फॉलोइंग द करंट अफेयर्स जिसने एक्चुअली ये MCLR को समझा हो वो आसानी से आंसर कर सकता है. सो इफ़ वी रीड द स्टेटमेंट, देखते हैं स्टेटमेंट जेनरिक हैं कि स्पेसिफिक हैं, देन वील ट्राई टू आंसर. These guidelines help improve the transparency in the methodology followed by bank in determining the interest rate on advances. I think this is true on the basis of the minimum knowledge that we know about MCLR. So this I will assume to be correct. These guidelines help ensure availability of bank credit at interest rates which are fair to the borrowers as the bank. So as we know कि monetary transmission नहीं हो रहा था इसलिए हम लोग ये नया MCLR लेकर के आए थे. तो I think the second point is also correct and the option is C. तो इतनी basic सी knowledge से also you can actually solve the question. Just try to make sure that the statements which are given are in consonance with the things that you know. What is unique about Kharai camel? Okay, now this is important because this question was based on an article that came in I think Down to Earth magazine. उन्होंने एक पूरा section निकाला था in इस this particular species of camel के ऊपर, and there were a lot of pictures. So even if you actually saw the picture in the article, you'll be able to answer it. Okay, so there were a picture of camels which were there in water, and basically Gujarat की picture थी. So on basis of just this much information, I could answer it correctly. It is capable of swimming up to 3 kilometers in seawater. So on basis of that mental picture in my head, I assumed it to be correct. It survives by grazing on mangroves. Okay, and क्योंकि sea water है, then it is pretty much possible कि yes, it can graze on mangroves. It lives in the wild and cannot be domesticated. Now this is again I felt a little extreme कि how is it that you can't domesticate it, and so basically on this much of knowledge I answered the question as A. So according to me the answer is A. Recently, our scientists had discovered a new and distinct species of banana plant which attains a height of about 11 meters and has an orange colored fruit pulp. In which part of India has it been discovered? Very specific general knowledge question covered in the Hindu newspaper. Either you know it or you don't. The answer is Andaman Islands. I didn't know it. I didn't attempt it. Right? Next question. Which one of the following is the best description of INS Astradharani that was in news recently? Now this I knew. It was a torpedo launch and recovery vessel. This basically या फिर आप इस question को जानते हो या नहीं जानते हो, इसमें guesswork नहीं कर सकते. All the options are very close. Amphibious warfare ship, nuclear powered submarine, nuclear powered aircraft carrier, ये सब बहुत ही क्लोज हैं. नाम से भी आपको कुछ इतना पता नहीं चल रहा है. सो या यू नो इट. मैंने ये सही मार्क किया था बिकॉज आई न्यू अबाउट इट. राइट. व्हाट इज ग्रीस लाइटनिंग 10 recently in the news? Okay, an electric plane tested by NASA could be the solar powered 2-seater aircraft designed by Japan, space observatory launched by China, and reusable rocket designed by ISRO. अब देखो इन ऑप्शंस में अगर इसका ऑप्शन डी होता, reusable rocket designed by ISRO, you must have heard with it. It would have made a lot of news. All of your teachers would have actually made you write it down in your notes, right? So option D तो आप eliminate कर ही दो, right? Space observatory launched by China. अब अगर आपने चाइना के जो नाम वो देता है अपनी space observatories को और ये सब आपने ध्यान से पढ़ा हो, तो I don't think it's ever going to call it Grease Lightning 10. So this is how I eliminated option number C. Right, बचे option number 1 and 2. So the correct answer actually is A. It's an electrical plane tested by NASA, and वो vertical landing and take off करता है. So these are some basic things. So अगर आपको ये नहीं भी पता हो तो आप तब भी दो option eliminate कर सकते हो बहुत आसानी से by the method that I told you. बाकी दो से you can always make a guess, and I felt कि I knew the answer back then, so I marked it. But then मेरे को ये भी लगा कि मतलब मैंने ये eliminate किया था just to get sure. I had read about it somewhere. I wasn't absolutely sure, and then I marked A the answer, and I got lucky. But ये दोनों आप बहुत आसानी से eliminate कर सकते हो. So your chances of marking the correct thing increases, right? With reference to initiative for nutritional security through intensive millet promotion, which of the following statement are correct? Okay, again we are going to do the same thing जो हमने earlier questions में किया था. Keywords पे focus. Nutritional security through intensive millet promotion. Okay. This initiative aims to demonstrate the improved production and post-harvest technology and to demonstrate value addition techniques in an integrated manner, which is cluster approach. Poor, small, marginal and tribal farmers have large stake in this scheme. Absolutely correct. This is definitely going to be correct अगर आपको millets को promote करना है तो, right? You will focus on poor, small and marginal farmers. An important objective of the scheme is to encourage farmers of commercial crops to shift to millet cultivation. Now this sounds a little dicey. Do you really want commercial crop farmers to shift to millet cultivation? I seriously don't think that would be an aim of this. So option 3 eliminate karo. There are still 2 options and you know 2 is correct. So I think option C is the right answer for this. Yeah, because ye wala statement is very you know contradictory. You will never encourage farmers of commercial crops to shift to millet cultivation. So that's my basic reasoning behind it. तो अगर आपने सिर्फ कीवर्ड्स पे फोकस किया और कॉमन सेंस यूज करी तब भी आप ये बहुत आसानी से आंसर कर सकते हो. Right. The Swadeshi boycott were adopted as method of struggle for the first time during the, this is again a very straightforward question. Right from your history syllabus, agitation against partition of Bengal is the answer. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. The concept of Bodhisattva is central to Hinayan sect of Buddhism. Okay, Hinayan, is it Hinayan or is it Mahayan? Now this is the question number 1 that should come to your mind while you're reading this statement. Bodhisattva is a compassionate one on his way of enlightenment. Yes, this is true. Bodhisattva delays achieving his own salvation to help all sentient beings on their path to it. Okay, this is also true. So I think the answer is 2 and 3 because I think it's central to Mahayan and not Hinayan. So if you know that one is not correct, then I think these 2 options get eliminated and third option looks like something which can be true, which you know 90% is true. So I will go with the option B. So according to me, the answer of 50 is B. Moving on, Doctors Without Border often in news. So this was very much in news back then क्योंकि तब Syrian crisis बहुत चल रहा था. So it is a non-government international organization. This is a factual question based on current affairs. Very easily you can attempt it and move forward if you know it. With reference to an initiative called Economics of Ecosystem and Biodiversity. Okay. Again, focus on the keyword. We have never heard about this term before. At least I hadn't when I was attempting the paper. Which of the following statements are correct? It is an initiative hosted by UNEP, IMF and World Economic Forum. Right. So the doubt that comes into my mind is अगर हम ecosystem and biodiversity की बात कर रहे हैं तो UNEP का बीच में आना, IMF का बीच में आना समझ आता है. Why would the World Economic Forum actually get involved? So that's the doubt that comes into my mind when I first see this question. I know nothing about this topic, so I'm just clarifying that this is just pure guesswork. It is a global initiative that focuses on drawing attention to the economic benefits of biodiversity. Yes, this thing again matches with our keyword, economics of ecosystem. So this I assume to be correct, कि ये definitely correct हो सकता है. It presents an approach that can help decision makers recognize, demonstrate and capture the value of ecosystem and biodiversity. Again, the same concept, the same thing is getting repeated, very much similar to the topic at hand. So I assume 2 and 3 to be correct, on basis of which I can shortlist 2 option. Again, I feel कि ठीक है, World Economic Forum क्यों इसमें आएगा. Now this thing can be entirely wrong. I don't know what the real actual answer is. या World Economic Forum था भी या नहीं था. But I would go with option C because option 1 मुझे इतना correct लग नहीं रहा है. So 52 का answer मेरे हिसाब से should be option C. And that's how I marked it in the paper and I think that was the correct answer. Right. Question number 53. With reference to Red Sanders, sometime seen in news, consider the following statement. It is a tree species found in a part of South India. It is one of the most important trees in the tropical rainforest areas of South India. Okay, so the tropical rainforest areas are actually, you know, what, Western Ghats and around that. See, red sandal से मुझे क्या याद आया ये question देख के, I was not sure about it, so I made some guesswork. Okay. It's basically related to sandalwood, and I knew that because us time, you know, there was this whole smuggling of sandalwood that was taking place. So was it found in South India? Yes. So I knew हाँ South India में होती है, you know, smuggling of this tree. So that's definitely a true statement. Second, it's the most important tree in tropical rainforest areas. Now I remember कि, you know, ये rainforest में तो नहीं है, you know, it's basically somewhere around what the problem is Andhra Pradesh and you know, Tamil Nadu and all of these areas जो rainforest में तो नहीं आते, they're all deciduous forests. So I assumed the second statement to be wrong and I went with A only. Now this is like too much, you know, बहुत ही हवा में guesswork, but I did it spontaneously in the paper. So yeah, because I never felt कि वो rainforest tree होगी. So that was my basic thing, and I knew ये South India की tree तो है, right? Which one of the following statement is correct? Proper design and effective implementation of UN REDD plus program can significantly contribute to protection of biodiversity, resilience of forest ecosystem and poverty reduction. Okay, first two तो obviously सही options हैं क्योंकि you know, like this is something we know that it has to do with biodiversity and forest ecosystem. Now poverty reduction. Will I actually eliminate this? Maybe I won't, क्योंकि जितने भी बड़े UN के programs बनते हैं, you know, green belt initiative हो या कुछ कोई भी initiative जो आप ecosystem से relate करो, उसका one of the main, you know, like मेन तो नहीं बोलेंगे, बट वन ऑफ एडेड एडवांटेज होता है एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन एंड पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन, क्योंकि अगर आप ट्रीज भी प्लांट करोगे तो फिर यू विल नीड पीपल टू डू इट एंड दैट विल बी अ मीन्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू देम. तो पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन को मेरे हिसाब से एलिमिनेट करना उस टाइम सही नहीं लगा मुझे, सो आई वेंट विथ 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, so according to me the answer is 1, 2 and 3. Greenhouse gas protocol. What is greenhouse gas protocol? That's the next question. It is an international accounting tool for government and business leaders to understand. Now I really don't know what greenhouse gas protocol is. I still don't know what it is. It is an initiative of United Nations to offer financial incentives to developing countries to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to adopt eco-friendly technologies. It is an intergovernmental agreement ratified by all member countries of United Nations. It is one of the multilateral REDD plus initiative hosted by the World Bank. I really didn't know back then कि ये क्या है, so I actually skipped this question altogether. I didn't want to take a risk because the answers, even if you did guesswork, all the options were really close to each other. But I think it's an accounting tool. That's the answer. I think that's the answer. I think that's what the answer should be, but I didn't attempt it in my paper back then. With reference to Financial Stability and Development Council, very basic. This is something that all of you should know, क्योंकि ये, you know, headed by the finance minister and overall regulation of the economy, right? So it is an organ of नीति आयोग. नहीं, क्योंकि ये बहुत पुरानी कमेटी है. It was ये बहुत पुरानी council है and it was made way before नीति आयोग was. So this is a wrong option. It is headed by Union Finance Minister. This is something we know. It monitors microprudential supervision of the economy. Now if option 1 is wrong and option 2 is correct, then this is your option. So this is how you figure out. Okay. Right, so the answer is 2 is correct, so and 1 is wrong. Okay, so option C. Now moving on. With reference to Agenda 21, sometimes seen in news, consider the following statement. Straight from your NCERT, Agenda 21. It is a global action plan for sustainable development. We all know that's correct. It originated in the World Summit on Sustainable Development held in Johannesburg in 2002. No, NCERT में बहुत clearly दिया हुआ है. I think it's 9th NCERT of what? Geography, जिसमें दिया हुआ है कि Earth Summit 1992 Rio de Janeiro. So this is wrong. So I will go with 1 only. Satya Shodhak Samaj. Again, direct. Okay, where did it go? Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, Satyashodhak Samaj, again a direct question. This was an anti-caste movement in Maharashtra, Jyotibai Phule. So this is again a direct question. Question number 59. Which of the following statement is correct? Viruses can affect bacteria, fungi and plants. Okay. Right. So this is again from your NCERT basic knowledge ki viruses actually live on host and they can make any kind of organism their host. You know, this is the basic general thing that you should know even if you have not studied the topic of viruses in detail. So on basis of this you will not really eliminate a bacteria, fungi or a plant, right? So you will go with option D. So this is how you are going to attempt this question. Simple question but thoda dhyan dene pe you will definitely mark it correctly. The term base erosion and profit shifting is sometimes seen in the news, is of the context of. Okay. Base erosion and profit shifting again उस time बहुत ज़्यादा news में था because we were fighting corruption and you know internationally also tax haven वगैरह ये सब सारे related बहुत concept news में थे. Base erosion and profit shifting में company क्या करती है that एक subsidiary company में अपने profits को shift करवा देती है when they are located in countries जहाँ पे tax rates कम हो ताकि उनको overall tax कम पे करना पड़े. तो उस time countries were actually saying that they are going to share tax information with each other ताकि base erosion and profit shifting को आप tackle कर सको. तो इसका answer होगा it's definitely not a mining operation. ये eliminate हो गया. Curbing of the tax evasion by multinational companies. So this is the answer, right? And बाकी दो are very unrelated ऑप्शंस. तो अगर आपको ये नहीं भी पता होता और ज़रा सा आपको बस टैक्स एवेजन आपसे आप इसे रिलेट कर लो आप आसानी से बाकी ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो, राइट? सो वेरी फेयरली सिंपल क्वेश्चन विच यू शुड हैव आंसर्ड इन द पेपर. Recently, India's first national investment and manufacturing zone was proposed to be set up in Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so this is my cadre, so I know that it's in the Prakasham district of Andhra Pradesh. So yeah, back then also I think I read it somewhere. I was confused between Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat because Gujarat देख के आपको लगता है कि investment will go there. So I gave it a second thought, but I don't remember what I marked. I think ये गलत हुआ था मेरा. Answer is Andhra Pradesh. But I could figure out Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat because I read it somewhere. Okay. What is the purpose of district mineral foundations in India? Right. Good question. Okay. Because district mineral foundation, okay, a lot of people thought of it to be something very different from what it actually is. Promoting mineral exploration activities in mineral rich district, protecting the interest of the persons affected by mining operation, authorizing state governments to issue license for mining operation. District mineral funds foundation क्या है? It's a fund which is made जिसमें जो भी you contribute basically, the company who is mining actually contributes for the benefit of the people which are affected by the mining operation. So option 2 is correct, right? So this is the answer. But जो लोग guess work कर रहे थे इधर उनने option 1 को assume किया था सही करने के लिए because promoting mineral exploration activities in mineral rich districts ये आपको generic सा statement लगेगा जिससे आप शायद correct mark करो. तो a lot of people mark this wrong, but the answer I think is B, right? Swayam, again a direct question from government initiative. It is actually a massive MOOC and though it is going to promote education. So this is again a straightforward question. Okay. Then Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. This has to do with constitutional reforms, basic, simple, right from the right from history syllabus. What is common to the two historical places known as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram? Both were built in the same period. Now we know that they were not built in the same period, so this is wrong. Both belong to the same religious denomination? Absolutely not. Both have rock cut monuments. This is right because both do have rock cut monuments. So I'll go with option B, which is 3 only. This is again something that you will easily answer if you've studied your history well. With reference to bitcoins sometimes seen in news, which of the following statement are correct? Bitcoins are tracked by central banks of the countries. देखो यार ये होता तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं होती, राइट? बिटकॉइंस के साथ में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि एनोनिमिटी है with transaction. Okay, anyone with a bitcoin address can send and receive bitcoins from anyone else with a bitcoin address. True, क्योंकि हमें पता है anonymity है, so this is how you don't really have to disclose your identity, right? Online payments can be sent without either side knowing the identity of others. Again, true. So I'll go with the option B. अगर आप option 1 को eliminate कर रहे हो, then as it is you know that 3 is correct, and you can also figure out that 2 is correct. So B is your option, right? Consider the following statement. New Development Bank has been set up by APEC, okay? And the headquarter of New Development Bank is Shanghai. Now, this question actually created a lot of, I mean, it garnered a lot of attention because firstly, जो first statement है वो तो आपको पता ही होना चाहिए that it's not right because New Development Bank was an initiative of ब्रिक्स, ठीक है, तो ये तो आपको पता ही होगा. अब सेकंड स्टेटमेंट में लोग कैसे कंफ्यूज हुए कि एक न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक था जो शंघाई में हेडक्वार्टर था. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज एक्चुअली राइट, बट देयर वाज अनदर AIIB व्हिच वाज हेडक्वार्टर्ड इन बीजिंग. सो बेसिकली इससे लोग बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज हो गए, बीजिंग एंड शंघाई. सो ऑन दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल मेड अ लॉट ऑफ मिस्टेक, राइट? सो you have to be careful when you're reading about organization जो similar sound करे, जिसमें कुछ similar हो. अगर China based organizations हैं या कुछ हैं, मतलब China से related हैं, you know, just make sure you don't get confused on basic things. It's a fairly simple question, but लोग AIIB से के बारे में उनके दोनों headquarters को आपस में confuse करके they didn't answer it properly, right? Gadgil committee report and Kasturi Rangan committee report. Okay, this is again वहाँ उस time का current affairs, very easy. This question you should not leave if you're a serious aspirant. आप news पढ़ रहे होगे तो आपको पता होना चाहिए that it has to do with protection of Western Ghats. Right. Question number 69. Consider the following: Calcutta Unitarian Committee, Tabernacle of New Dispensation, Indian Reform Association. Keshav Chandra Sen is associated with the establishment of which of the above? Now, this is a question that I left in the examination and I felt really bad that I left it because ये modern India का question था which you really do not want to leave. So, the reason why I left it was because although I knew a lot about Keshav Chandra Sen, I just wasn't sure if, I was, sure amongst the options. So, if we try to attempt it, Calcutta Unitarian Committee, Tabernacle of New Dispensation and Indian Reform Association. Right, so the answer of the question is actually B, 2 and 3, and he was not associated with the Calcutta Unitarian Committee. Right, moving forward, question number 70. Which of the following is not a member of Gulf Cooperation Council? Iran, Saudi Arabia, Oman and Kuwait. Okay, so how do you do this question? How do you solve it? सबसे पहले Iran is definitely something that will strike out amongst the 4 option क्योंकि Iran और Saudi Arabia ये and they will not probably be in the same council. To say, and Saudi Arabia is also something that you can possibly doubt, but Oman or Kuwait को देख के you can definitely say that it's Iran. So the answer is Iran. So this is how you're supposed to guess. मतलब अगर आपको exactly भी answer नहीं पता है, try and make an informed guess कि Iran is the one country that is standing out, right? Which is the purpose of government sovereign bond scheme and gold monetization scheme? To bring the idle gold lying with the Indian household into the economy. Yes, that is why these 2 schemes were designed. To promote FDI in the gold and jewelry sector. To reduce India's dependence on gold imports. This is also right because if we start using the gold that is there in the country, we will not import it that much. So, to promote FDI in gold and jewelry sector. Now, this is something that the scheme doesn't intend to. So, I think the answer is C, 1 and 3. Belt and Road Initiative is sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of the affairs of. Now, this is a very straightforward question which not just every serious UPSC aspirant but every Indian should know. The answer is China. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is aimed at. Right. So, this is again a very straightforward thing. You can answer if you have learned the schemes well. So, Mudra Yojana is to do with bringing the small entrepreneurs into formal financial system. So 73 का answer है A. In which of the following regions of India the shale gas resources are found? Cambay Basin, कावेरी बेसिन एंड कृष्णा गोदावरी बेसिन. सी दिस इज अ फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन. शेल गैस की अगर आपने मैप वर्क किया हो तो आपको पता हो दैट देयर 6 मेन रीजन्स इन विच 6 मेन बेसिन्स इन विच शेल गैस इज एक्चुअली फाउंड एंड उसमें से ये तीनों हैं. सो द आंसर इज 1, 2 एंड 3. सो ईदर यू नो इट और यू डोंट, राइट. बट द सेफ guess would also be to mark all 3 of them to be correct. But अगर आपको ये पता हो आंसर then you can easily answer it. Global Financial Stability Report is prepared by, right, the European Central Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. तो ये जितनी भी रिपोर्ट्स हैं और जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस उनको बनाती हैं, प्लीज़ अपने प्रीलिम्स से पहले एक सेपरेट चार्ट बना लीजिए कि कौन सी रिपोर्ट कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दे रही है. गो थ्रू इट मल्टीपल टाइम्स एंड यू विल फाइंड आउट दी, मतलब यू विल डेफिनेटली आंसर दीज क्वेश्चंस. ये करना ज़रूरी है. दिस यू हैव टू डू बिफोर एवरी प्रीलिम्स, राइट. सो ये अगेन बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन है जिसका आंसर है इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड. मूविंग अहेड, रिगार्डिंग अटल पेंशन योजना विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. अरे अगेन अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम स्कीम. तो अगर आप स्कीम और उनके ओवरव्यू पढ़ लेंगे देन यू विल आंसर अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस ऑफ दिस पेपर. First is, it is a minimum guaranteed pension scheme mainly targeted at unorganized sector workers. Only one member of family can join the scheme. This is wrong. Same amount of pension is guaranteed for spouse for life after subscriber's death. This is right. So the answer has to be C. Again, scheme के बारे में अगर आपको पता है तो you can easily answer it. Question number 77. The term Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership often appears in the news in context of the affairs of group of countries known as. Very, very basic question. Answer is ASEAN. And ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. उस टाइम RCEP बहुत ही न्यूज़ में थी and that's why they've asked it. On which of the following can you find the Bureau of Energy Efficiency star label? Right, now this is a good question. Now you really don't need to know the list of the things on which the this star label is found. अगर आप common sense use करोगे you can eliminate it. The main thinking जो मैंने employ की थी कि why would I eliminate one of the options, right? So ceiling fans, हाँ उसमें ये star label हो सकता है. Electric geyser उसमें भी हो सकता है. Tubular fluorescent lamps उसमें भी हो सकता है because energy efficiency हमें तीनों में चाहिए. तो that's why I assumed all 3 to be correct. And I marked the answer as D, 1, 2 and 3 because मेरे को कोई भी reason नहीं मिल रहा था to eliminate one option at the expense of other. So इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि ये तीनों की तीनों correct है and I marked it as D. So this way you can easily, you know, answer questions because आपका जो main topic है उससे relation में अगर तीनों सही बैठ रहे हैं तीनों options then you can assume them to be correct. India is an important member of the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. What are the advantages? So इसका आंसर था it can build fusion reactors for power generation. Okay, अगर आप बाकी options देखोगे तो you know the second option can be easily eliminated कि वो satellite navigation के लिए तो नहीं use होगा. ये हो सकता है it can drastically improve the efficiency of fission reactors. This maybe can confuse you. It can use thorium in place of uranium for power generation. This can also confuse you. तो इसमें अगर आपको पता हो then you'll make a very informed nice choice. Now the question that arises is अगर आपको एक option आप eliminate कर पा रहे हो and आपको 3 में doubt है तो should you actually attempt that question or not? जैसे इस question में if you don't have any basic knowledge about this तो आपको ये पता है कि ये 3 options सही हो सकते हैं. So would you attempt this question or not? You know, a lot of people attempt them, but then make sure ऐसे questions जो आप कर रहे हो वो ज़्यादा ना हो, like you know 2 या 3 हो, 3 या 4 हो. Don't just go on attempting all the questions जिसमें 3 options में आपको doubt हो. अगर 2 options में doubt हो, you should certainly attempt it. अगर 2 आप eliminate कर पा रहे हो, because that way you know probability wise it's better. 3 में हो, then try to attempt it. ज़्यादा मत करो according to me. In the context of history of India, consider the following pairs. Eripatti, land revenue from which was set apart for the maintenance of the village tank. Taniyurs, villages donated to a single Brahmin or a group of Brahmins. Ghatika, colleges generally attached to the temples. Which of the following pairs are correct? Now, I really did not know what the above 2 were. Ghatikas also, मतलब I had a faint idea that they were colleges related to the temples क्योंकि उस time जो temples होते थे they were really not just temples, they had a lot of other things going on, you know. They 1 minute, yeah. So in these temples you had a lot of activities, other activities that were there. So this is the only option that I actually knew about. So I did not attempt this question, but the correct answer of the question is D, 1 and 3. That second statement is actually wrong. Okay, moving ahead. Question 81. Consider the following statements. The International Solar Alliance was launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in 2015. The alliance includes all the member countries of the United Nations. Now again, all the member countries. The term here is all. So this should actually, you know, ring bells in your mind that kuch garbad ho sakti hai, because it's an extreme statement. So this is actually a wrong statement. And the answer of the question is, I think the first statement is correct. This is something you should have known if you have studied about it. So it's pretty obvious, and the second statement is wrong. So answer is 1. So it's an easy question to attempt. Just focus on the keywords like all and only. European Stability Mechanism, sometimes seen in news, is an agency created by EU to deal with the impact of millions of refugees arriving from Middle East. Okay, now the key word is stability. So if there's a stability mechanism, I think it has to do mainly with, you know, banking or something related to that. That's what I would assume. The second option is agency of EU that provides financial assistance to Eurozone country. Now this could be true, right? Agency of EU to deal with all the bilateral and multilateral agreements on trade. Okay, agency of EU to deal with the conflict arising among member countries. Okay, so I think iska answer hai B. There are certain options which you can easily eliminate looking at the word stability mechanism. So 82 ka answer hai B, right? Which of the following are advantages of practicing drip irrigation? Reduction in weeds, reduction in soil salinity, reduction in soil erosion. See, reduction in weed is pretty simple, that yes, it's going to happen. अगर आपके आसपास क्रॉप के आसपास उगने वाली वीड को पानी नहीं मिलेगा because you're supplying minimum possible water, then you won't have the problem of weeds. रिडक्शन इन सॉइल एरोजन, येस, क्योंकि पानी अगर आप जितना रिक्वायर्ड है उतना ही सप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो your soil is going to be intact and it's not going to erode. The question arises reduction in soil salinity. एक जो व्यू पॉइंट है इसके लिए वो ये है कि अगर आप पानी को स्टैग्नेट होने दो ग्राउंड पे तो उस सॉइल की सैलिनिटी इंक्रीज हो जाती है. तो अगर आप ड्रिप इरिगेशन कर रहे हो तो इतना पानी वहाँ पे सप्लाई नहीं होगा कि वो स्टैग्नेट करे एंड सैलिनिटी बढ़े. सो दिस वाज द कॉन्सेप्ट दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल used, but according to me, I don't think salinity actually has anything with drip irrigation. So I assumed it to be wrong and I went with the option of 1 and 3 only. So this is how I eliminated the answer, eliminated the options. Regarding DigiLocker, sometimes seen in news, which of the following statement are correct? Now this is again a straightforward question. It is a digital locker system offered by government under Digital India program. It allows you to access your e-document irrespective of your physical location. So the answer is both 1 and 2. Something that you will easily know. Option C, अगर आपने DigiLocker के बारे में basics भी पढ़े हैं तो. Question number 85. Recently, linking of which of the following rivers was undertaken? Right. So this is again something that was very much in news, and the answer is Godavari and Krishna. So the option is actually B. Moving on. Question number 86. In the cities of our country, which among the following atmospheric gases are normally considered in calculating the value of air quality index? Very factual, something that you need to study about. You cannot make a guesswork here. So as far as I know, it does not take into account methane. So on basis of this, I can eliminate C. And D. The second thing that I know, it does not take into account carbon dioxide as far as I feel. So I think the answer to the question is B. So ये आप तभी कर सकते हो जब आपने इसको ध्यान से पढ़ा हो. You can't make guesses here. So just focus on knowing your basics well. With reference to Astrosat, the astronomical observatory launched by India, which of the following statement are correct? Other than India, US, Russia, India is only country to have launched a similar observatory into space. Astrosat is a 2000 kg satellite placed in the orbit at 1650 kilometers above the surface of the earth. Now this is a question that I actually got wrong. सबसे पहला ऑप्शन मैंने सोचा था कि अगर ये यूएस और रशिया के बाद इंडिया का ओनली मतलब India would have been the only country to launch this, then I would have actually remembered it. If India is the third country in launching something, so I assumed it to be wrong. Second वाला मुझे इतना factual लगा कि मेरे को लगा if they're talking about such specific, it has to be right. So I would assume it to be correct. 87th का option मेरे हिसाब से होना चाहिए B, but this is actually wrong. So this is how I got it wrong. I marked it as B, but it was actually neither 1 and 2. So sometimes guesswork does go wrong. So yeah, that's how it went wrong for me, but it's okay. It's a calculated risk that you can take, right? Question number 88. With reference to the economic history of medieval India, the term Araghata refers to. Okay, I don't know what this. Didn't know what it is then, and I don't remember marking it also. I think it's a water wheel used in irrigation of land. Although this was actually a very basic question in the NCERT, but I didn't mark it, so I regretted not marking it later. With reference to the cultural history of India, the memorizing of chronicle, dynastic history, and epic tales was the profession of who of the following? Okay, Shramana okay, this I got right because I had studied about it. So the answer is D. Recently, the first time in our country, which of the following state has declared a particular butterfly as state butterfly? I again had no idea about it, but the answer is Maharashtra, so I skipped this. Next question is, consider the following statement. Mangalyaan launched by ISRO is also called Mars Orbiter mission. Yes, made India the second country to have a spacecraft orbit the Mars after USA. Made India the only country to be successful in making its spacecraft orbit the Mars in its very first attempt. So right, so option 3 is right, option 1 is right. So you can eliminate 2 options, and option 2 is something I had a doubt about. Second country to have spacecraft orbit the Mars after USA. So I went with option C, and I think that is the correct answer, right? Moving on. Okay, question number 92. What was the main reason for the split in the Indian National Congress at Surat in 1907? Again, a very straightforward question. It had to do with extremists and moderates. So the option is B. The plan of Sir Stafford Cripps envisaged that after the Second World War, India should be granted complete independence. India should be partitioned into 2 before granting independence. India should be made a republic, and with the condition that she joins the Commonwealth, and India should be given dominion status. So this is again a straightforward question. The answer is D. Consider the following pairs. Bodh Gaya, Bagelkhand, Khajuraho, Bundelkhand, Shirdi, Vidarbha, Nasik, Malwa, and Tirupati, Rayalaseema. So in this, I knew about Tirupati and Khajuraho very well. So on basis of this, I could figure out that it is either this or this, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2 and 5. So knowing this, I actually went with reading the other options. Option number 3, Shirdi in Vidarbha. I don't think that is correct. So I went with the option C. So even if you don't need to know all of them. Just आपको थोड़ा बहुत आप 2-3 option के बारे में sure हो तो the rest of the options actually help you to understand. Question number 95. The Parliament of India acquires the power to legislate on any item in the state list in the national interest if the resolution to that effect is passed by the. Now this is a straight question from polity, and the answer is Rajya Sabha by a majority not less than 2/3 of its member present and voting. There is nothing to explain here. It's a factual detail that you are supposed to know if you have studied polity for prelims, right? Recently, which of the following state has explored the possibility of constructing an artificial inland port to be connected to sea by a long navigation canal? I didn't know this back then, and I did not attempt it. So you can leave this question. There's no guesswork that you can actually do here. Either you know it or you don't. So the answer is actually Rajasthan, but I did not attempt it back then and I left it. With reference to the agreement at the UNFCCC meeting in Paris, which of the following statement are correct? The agreement was signed. Now, this is where you have to read the question very carefully. The agreement was signed by all member countries of the UN and it will go into effect by 2017. I don't think there was an agreement that was signed. There was just an agreement that happened. You know, as in people, countries came together and agreed to certain terms. The agreement aims to limit the greenhouse gas emissions so that the rise in average okay, so if we go by the option, if we eliminate first option, this is we just have 2 and 2 and 3 only. So by default 2 is correct. Now, developed countries acknowledge their historical responsibility in global warming and committed to donate 1,000 billion a year. Now see, this you will assume to be correct, but I think ये 1,000 billion nahi tha, it was 100 million, so the 100 billion. So this is how a lot of people got confused. The answer is B, that is 2 only. Right, so this is again a factual thing जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी लोगों ने गलत मार्क किया था. Consider the following statement. The Sustainable Development Goals were first proposed in 1972 by global think tank called Club of Rome. Now this is wrong. Details about Club of Rome, SDGs, everything is given in the NCERTs, and this you can actually, if you've read the NCERTs, you'll know that this is wrong. Sustainable Development Goal have to be achieved by 2030. So this is something that all of us know is correct and the answer is B. 99th question. In recent movie titled The Man Who Knew Infinity is a recent movie titled The Man Who Knew Infinity is based on the biography of S. Ramanujan. This is again something that was there in the news and most of the people got this right. Fairly basic and simple question. Consider the following statement. The minimum age prescribed for any person to be a member of Panchayat is 25 years. Now, this is 21 years. So, we know that this is wrong. Alright. And, okay, where did the, okay, fine. A Panchayat reconstituted after premature dissolution continues only for the remainder period. Right. So this you should know about if you have studied about panchayats, and the panchayat reconstituted after premature dissolution continues only for the remaining period. So this is actually wrong. This is not the case. So the answer is D. Again a direct question from Polity. Right, so we have completed solving the entire paper, and you know, I told you about all the important tricks that you can use, the simple ways in which you can actually do good guesswork, you know, guesswork which ensures that you get extra correct answers. Please, please share the video as much as possible so that it reaches everybody who needs to see it for their preparation, and please subscribe to our channel. So I hope this video helped you. Please stay focused and you know, continue with your preparation with full efforts. All the best. Thank you very much.